Hey guys, welcome back to the Yapping Gym, and I'm gonna be playing The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild after. I don't even remember when the last time I played. I started back in 2017, and I assume my last time I played was around 2020 or 21, maybe 22, maybe 23, but I'm assuming because I already beat the game once before, and I've played again, starting all over again, and then this would be like my third playthrough, even though I haven't really completed my second one, but no matters, no matters. I'll just continue on. Hopefully I've set the audio correctly. Nintendo presents The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Alright, although sure I have been, doing a quick audio check to make sure the audio is alright, even though I'm not really too confident if it's gonna sound good or not. So from there, I might, refamiliarize with the controls, but I still assume I'm gonna suck. Anyways, let's just get the Sheikah Slate in. I want my water near me. Ugh. I just gotta remind myself not to hit the microphone, not to cough too hard, not to sneeze. And I wonder how it'll affect drinking. Oh well. Sheikah Slate.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Sheikah Slate. A mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. Alright. Time for me to get my clothes. Got the trousers. I don't think I need to read them. Yeah, if anything, I'll just read whatever seems interesting. Uh,
hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
Alright, Zelda. I'll do so. Authenticating. Sheikah slate confirmed. Hmm.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
Alright. I wonder if it'll sound when I pop my neck. I don't know. I'll have to see if it will hear my neck, my joint pops. I don't know. I have a habit of popping joints. It just feels good. Neck, fingers, toes, knees, elbow, shoulders. I don't know. It just feels good to pop them joints. Ah, how nostalgic. I want to have a quick look, real quick, of the scenery. Ah, man. It's so beautiful. And there's the bird. It's so crazy that's been, what, 9 years ago? Ah, damn, time flies. 9 years ago. And now I'm an adult. Well, time to continue on. This bird is really close. Well, time to get the stick. No need to read what a stick is. Everyone knows what a stick is. The humble stick. Let's get some more stuff. Hylian shroom, a common mushroom found near trees around Hyrule. Eat it to restore half a heart. Right. I don't know, I was debating myself on whether I should play Minecraft or this, but after, reflecting a bit about my, you know, the years that gone by and all that stuff, I've been thinking, I have, I've been having this itch on going back to Hyrule after so long. So, here I am. Now I'm supposed to save it. At least that's what the game wants you. Uh, oh,
Link, head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
alright. I'll do that. So I gotta get there, which I believe would be the tower, if I remember. Let's get the apple. Is there one more apple? Yeah, there is one more. Oh. Ah, let's see. There we go. Ah, I suck. Oh, let's get this. Okay, bake apple. I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my bake apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Oh ho ho. Forgive me. I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. It is a bit strange to see another soul in these pots. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story, says the old man. I'm just an old fool who has lived here, alone, for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? Where are we? Answering a question with a question. That's fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. That temple there, long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned, in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. Kind of like real life, you know? Some things come and go, then they become forgotten, and oh well. Let's see what else you got to say. Oh ho ho, says the old man. What are you doing? I'm relaxing by the fireside, of course, although I'll need to cook myself another baked apple at some point. Simple foods such as apples are fine to eat raw, but roasting them on a fire makes them tastier and more nutritious. Do you not have somewhere else to be, young one? Alright, now let me see. Oh, okay, so the baked apple gives me more health, so I might as well cook it. Now I wonder. Okay, so he does react to the attacks. I want to see his face. Right. Ah, there's a fly flying around my glasses. Torch. No need to read what that does. Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how many, may I ask, are you planning to use it? Oh wait, and how, may I ask, are you planning to use it? Set things on fire! That is rather unnerving. Please be cautious with that around any dry grass that might catch on fire. You know, there are plenty of monsters in this area that torch would make a good weapon if need be. However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponent and lock your sight on them. Oh, okay. Uh, well, let's pick up the axe. Let's chop some trees. I don't know. I mean, this is pretty much the reason why I've thought about, coming back in this game is because I've been looking back, and this being my first Zelda game that I've ever played, and being the game that has introduced me to the franchise, I gotta say, this game has aged like fine wine, as those they say, right? Like it's all beautiful, and the story is so beautiful and all that stuff. And I don't know, I mean, it has made a lot of achievements from what I've heard. Like, I mean, a lot of big achievements. I mean, to put things into perspective, like, Zelda 1 is, like, from what I've heard, one of the most important games, because Zelda 1 essentially um, is where it all started, obviously, right? Then you have The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. No, not Link's Awakening. The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past is what I meant to say. That's the next important Zelda game, because from there, that's where you get the main storyline, right? You get the Master Sword, um, you get Hyrule Castle, you get um, Ganon. Well, Ganon was from Zelda 1, and so is Hyrule itself, but there is where you get most a good portion of the lore in A Link to the Past. Never got to play it, but I would love to play it. Then the next important Zelda game, I think, would be Ocarina of Time, which I did play on the 3DS. But Ocarina of Time, from what I is the next important Zelda game, cause like it's the first Zelda game to be on 3D, and also you get a lot of lore from Ocarina of Time. And according to the old Zelda lore, that's where the timeline splits into three: childhood, adult, and the fallen timeline. So Ocarina of Time being the first game to be in a 3D format is essentially is one of the important games. Then you have Breath of the Wild, which I think it's the another important game, at least from what I've heard. I'm just going by hearsays on what people say it's important. To me, I love Breath of the Wild. I love Ocarina of Time, and that's pretty much the only two games I've completed so far. I have A Link Between Worlds, but I haven't really finished it. I also have A Link Awakening, but I also have not finished that either. Um, but yeah, but from what I hear that Breath of the Wild is important as well, because if you look at it from the point of view of the first Zelda game, the premise of the first Zelda game is that there's exploration, and wow, I'm actually gonna die if I'm not careful. The premise of the first Zelda game is that you just explore. That's it. You just Traveler's Sword, a very common sword, often kept by travelers to find out. Yeah, because if you look at Zelda 1, the premise of Zelda 1 is pretty much that you explore, right? Like, there isn't really an order to what dungeon to go or which way you go. I mean, sure, you have to complete all the dungeons to win the game, and then get to the final dungeon, kill Ganon, and save Princess. But the whole idea of Zelda 1 is that you don't really have a prompt, right? Like, it's all you explore on your own. You you like discover what you find. You have secrets, and then from what I hear, there's like a manual, right? So you like look into the manual, find some secrets, and then if you had friends in school, you would like discuss lore and discuss secrets with your friend, because that's the whole point of Zelda 1, right? Um, then so that's the whole point. Then if you look at A Link to the Past, that introduced the Zelda formula for 2D games, and then if you look into Ocarina of Time, that introduced the Zelda formula for 3D games. Where, sure, I mean, technically, you don't. I mean, where. And the reason why I say this is because. And the reason why I say formula, which is from what I understood from the what from hearsay and stuff, is that let me kill these. Is because in anything after A Link to the Past, it's pretty much story based. So, uh, so wow, it's really hard to multitask. Oh well. So yeah, so anything after like A Link to the Past, which is the third Zelda game, is pretty much story based. So so it's a bit linear, so you have to like go into a specific dungeon in kind of like a specific order. At least that's what I assume. I have not played A Link to the Past. But when you go to Ocarina of Time, it's pretty much a linear game. Like there's specific dungeons that you have to go to, and actually let me do this before we continue on the yap. Place place the Sheikah Slate in the pedestal. Sheikah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. Hey. The Great Plateau Tower. The Great Plateau Tower. Okay. Distilling local information. Regional map extracted. Alright, sweet. Oh,
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. before it's too late.
Alright. Okay, I think that's done. Yeah, I want to be careful not to accidentally interrupt the dialogue or monologue or whatever, but yeah. You know, the funny thing is that it's meme that in this game, the average player pretty much do everything but save Hyrule, which I find funny. But yeah, but that's mostly because, as I was saying earlier, Zelda 1 is important because it's like the first Zelda game, like ever, so obviously that's important. A Link to, yeah, A Link to the Past, with the third Zelda game, is also very important, at least from what I hear, because it introduced a lot of that look goofy. Okay, my, it would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long dormant power has awakened quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop that tower? I heard a voice. Well, now, a voice, you say. And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? Said the old man. No. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity shrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight among the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to that castle? Well, sure, yeah, I do. Assuming that I'm going to be consistent with this playthrough. I had a feeling you would say that. Here on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no laydown. If you were to try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain or more foolish. Of course, said the old man, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story. Which one do I pick? Paraglider? Oh, piqued of your interest. Oh, that's an interesting word. Piqued. Piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I did. Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. I don't. I don't remember him being this sassy. Worry not. I will happily agree to give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? The isolated plateau. Da, da, da. Come, let me show you something. You see that structure there? The one shining with an the one shining with a strange light. It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. Right? Go on. Fetch me any treasure you find inside that shrine. I am looking forward to your successful return. Alright, let's go. Anyways, as I was saying, which finally I hope I got a break so I could just keep on yapping. Zelda 1 is important because it's the first, obviously. A Link to the Past, which is the third Zelda game, is important because, as I said, it introduced a lot of the lore that Zelda uses now, and also it introduces the formula for uh, it introduces the formula for 2D Zelda games, and then but what makes Breath of the Wild important is that when you look at what makes Breath of the Wild important is that when you look, at least from what I heard, is that when you look at it from Zelda 1, the whole point of Zelda 1 is exploration, so there isn't really any order to which dungeon you do or which way you go. I mean, as long as you completed everything and then save Hyrule, then that's pretty much it. But other than that, there's pretty much no prompt whatsoever. Um, a Link to the Past, which is the third Zelda game. I've never played it, but from what I hear, it's a bit more linear, not as linear as Ocarina of Time and the 3D Zelda games, but linear enough that more linear than Zelda 1, right? Then you have Ocarina of Time, which then you have Ocarina of Time, which is very important on its own for introducing more lore, also being the first Zelda game to be on a 3D format. R for throw. There we go. Oh. But, and I'm not saying this as a critique because I love Ocarina of Time. Like, I love Ocarina of Time as much as I've loved Breath of the Wild. But, but the thing with Ocarina of Time is that it introduced the Zelda formula for 3D games, which is both a blessing for some, but also a curse for others, because on one hand, it introduces a lot of good stories that you would get from Ocarina of Time and then other Zelda games like Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess, Sheikah Slate Confirmed, Wind Waker, and all those games that I would like to try someday. Okay. But then there's some critiques to it, at least for some people. I mean, to me, at least with Ocarina of Time and a bit of Majora Mask, it didn't really bother me. But some people critique the old Zelda formula to be repetitive because pretty much they would recycle the formula for every 3D Zelda game, which pretty much what it is that um, you wake up, um, you have a quest to do, whatever reason, maybe for family, to save your sister or save a tree or whatever, but you have like a quest. You go, then you learn your role on what you're supposed to do, then you go on a, you go on each dungeon on a specific order, which has a specific theme or motif. You get a special item from that dungeon, and then you use that item to finish the dungeon, and then from there you then from there you just rinse and repeat for the other dungeons, and then you went to the final dungeon where you like use everything that you have, beat Ganon or Ganondorf, save the princess, save Hyrule, and all of that stuff. uh but yeah, it's pretty much that's what the old formula was, and to me it's not bad. I love it. Like, it gives good story and all stuff, but the critique is that it gets like repetitive and all that stuff. Uh, but then what? But that's the thing that what makes Breath of the Wild special, at least from what I hear, because unlike the other Zelda games, Breath of the Wild ditched the formula basically. So pretty much I'm just gonna continue on so I don't bore you. To you who set foot in this shrine, I am Oman Al. In the name of the goddess Allah. I did not read it fast enough. Well, Magnesis Trial, Oman Al Shrine. I didn't read it fast enough. Let's get the metal one. Sheikah Slate authenticated. Distilling rune. Magnesis. Manipulate metallic. Blah, 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 blah. Right. Rune extracted. Alright. Alright. Anyways, as I was saying, what makes Breath of the Wild special? Ooh. Beautiful. Anyways, what makes Breath of the Wild special is that unlike the previous 3D Zelda games, which relied heavily on the formula, Breath of the Wild pretty much ditched it, right? It like completely ditched the formula, and because it ditched the formula, it pretty much went back to Zelda 1 in the sense that Zelda 1 actually, was there a chest this way? In the sense that it relies more on exploration, right? So, unlike the previous games in Breath of the Wild, you don't have to complete the dungeons in a specific order, right? So you could just do whatever, right? You can go on this dungeon or the other dungeon. You could go north, south, west, east. Uh, you could do the Divine Beast in any order, which those are the main dungeons. You could do that in any orders. You could also, or you could also not do the Divine Beast, and you could just, heck, you don't even have to like complete the. You don't have to even do these dungeons, right? You could just well, you technically have to do the first 4 shrines, cause so you could get the paraglider to leave the plateau. But technically, after that, you don't really need you don't really need to go to do the main quest, right? You could just skip straight to Ganon and kill him with what, 4 or 5 hearts, right? Heck, if you do some cheats and stuff, you could probably do it with 3 hearts, I'm assuming. But yeah, so uh, ooh, I wonder. I don't think there's anything. Anything in here? Gotta read fast. You have proven to possess the resolve of a true hero. I am Omanao, the creator of this trial. I am a humble monk, blessed with the sight of Goddess highly and dedicated to help those who seek to defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of Goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Please accept this spirit orb. Spirit Orb, a symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. May the goddess smile upon you. I'm gonna wait because I don't know if there's gonna be more dialogue or reading before I continue. It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. How did you know? Clairvoyance. Oh, this guy has a lot of. This guy's a thesaurus. Like, I gotta see what these words mean. Clairvoyance. Oh ho. Or perhaps just something similar. As one gets older, it can become more difficult to see what is right before one's own eyes. You know, now thinking about it, I think I can see why he has such a complex vocabulary, but I'm not going to spoil it, so let's just continue on. However, that which was once hidden from view can often be crystal clear. But perhaps that is not true for everyone. Oh ho ho. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine, it is all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip there. What do you mean? It has been quite some time since I have seen that Sheikah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago, or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasures from each of those shrines and I will give you my paraglider. Oh, I love these responses. That wasn't the deal. Oh well. I suppose I changed my mind. Oh man. I'm sure that won't be a problem for a young go-getter like you. Oh. Wait, I gotta read this with an old man accent. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me try. Oh, well, I suppose I changed my mind. I'm sure that won't be a problem for you, a young go-getter like you. Since I'm feeling generous, I will also teach you a trick for finding shrines. You know, being an old man, he does sounds like a sweet old man. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again? Sure. I admire your eagerness, but allow me to teach you something else before you do. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate. You see those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you woke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. I can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Or so I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such. Try traveling to the top of the tower from there. You should be able to scout the location of the other shrines. You sure know a lot. Oh, when you have been around as long as I have, you pick up a thing or two. Go on. Why not try it out? Now, I'm gonna try to limit fast travel because I would like to, I want to chill. Like, I'm not really gonna be speed running this or anything. Like, I just want to relax, have fun. I'm not gonna be doing too much edits or anything. Actually, I don't think I'll be editing at all. I'll just relax, have fun, and whoa! This guy beat me. I don't rem- You beat me! You're quite an agile. I'm surprised it took you so long to catch up with an old man like me. How did you... Oh! Leave an old man his secret. Now then, I wanted to join me. I wanted you to join me up here so you could use this as a vantage point to search a shrine. Oh, now I remember why he got here. I'm not going to spoil it though. Did you know about the scope on your Sheikah slate? Look look through it and you can stick a pin anywhere you'd like to mark on the map. The pins on your map serve as a reference point on for your travels. Just stick a pin anywhere you're interested in. How do you know? Experience, wisdom, instinct? Call it what you will and believe it only if you so please. Go ahead and take a look if you feel inclined to do so. Right. So I saw one here, so I'll do that. That looks easier. One, two. Having trouble finding shrines? Help me out. I just remembered something that may help you. You can review some of the abilities you've learned on the pause screen. Oh, okay, okay. If you're searching for shrines, use the scope on the Sheikah slate. Okay. So yeah, so here's all three of them. All right. So thinking about it. No, I'm gonna try to say this without spoiling too much, but knowing that he has a responsible, or he had a very responsible role, I assume if it wasn't for the position that he was in his role, like if it wasn't for his roles or duties or whatever you call it, I assume he would be a sweet old man, like maybe a grampy type of figure. I mean, he seems very a funny old man. He seems like a fun guy to hang out with. Shame that life you know, didn't really turn out well for him, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, as I was saying, what makes Zelda Breath of the Wild special in comparison to the other 3D Zelda games is that, unlike the other 3D Zelda games, Zelda Breath of the Wild pretty much ditched the format. It ditched the formula, and because of that, there's pretty much no order to which dungeon you go. Like I could go to this one or that one or that one. Like there's really no order. And then after that, I could either try to complete as much of the game I want. I could be a, what do you call it? A 100% completionist, or I could just skip everything and just go straight to Ganon, right? So really, there's no order to this game at all, or at least there's no prompt to completing the game. And because of that, some people who like the game consider it like they like consider it as the as the new Zelda 1, because that's what Zelda tried to accomplish, right? They tried to accomplish the freedom of explorability, because when you look into the documentary or something like that, I don't remember where, the dev said his inspiration for making Zelda 1 was that when he was a young boy, he would used to explore around the woods, and that's was like his inspiration. And oh, no, no, maybe. So, being that they ditched the formula, they pretty much went back to their roots in this game. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. That's gonna take forever. Uh, what the? Ah! No, no. Oh no. I'm gonna die. Hey. Alright. Ah, man. I gotta get out of here. Ugh. Yeah, you I don't mind fighting. Yeah. So yeah, they pretty much went back to their roots when making Zelda, when making Breath of the Wild, and that's why a lot of people love this game. I mean, this became Game of the Year, right? Now I don't want to. Now I'm not saying this because I don't like the old formula. Because I played Ocarina of Time. I've played a little bit of Majora's Mask, and I love those two games respect as their own. I love them. I mean, Ocarina of Time is, I want to say, is tied to Breath of the Wild, right? Like it's such a masterpiece, right? But I'm just sharing, what I hear, what people say. But me personally, I just love this game. Like if it wasn't for Breath of the Wild, I probably would not. I wouldn't have gotten a clue what Zelda is. To you who set foot in this shrine, I am Jabaji. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer this trial. Bomb trial, Jabaji. Try. I think this one's the. Oh yeah, this one's the bomb. So yeah, I mean, Ocarina of Time is nostalgic. Majora's Mask is nostalgic, even though I have not finished it yet. Breath of the Wild is also nostalgic too. Uh, but really, I think Breath of the Wild to me is very special, being my first Zelda game, because before Breath of the Wild, I had no idea what Legend of Zelda was. So to me, this is to me I consider this game as kind of like the doorway to the franchise, right? I gotta remind myself how to throw. Oh, another sword. Let me replace it. I'll get rid of this. So yeah, it's a very special game in my opinion. Like, like I owe this game for the Zelda franchise, really. Like, this game is what got me into Zelda. This game is what got me into wanting to play Ocarina of Time. This game is what got me into the basics of the lore and stuff. I mean, I guess I still remember a bit of the lore, but yeah, I mean, it's such a great game. Oh, wait, did it hurt me? Oh no, it did not. Okay. But yeah, hence why I wanted to go back here, cuz it's like, I don't know, it's such a masterpiece, this game, really. Like like this game is definitely like, well, I want to say I want to say this game is like the video game version of the Oscars, but you know, lately nowadays the Oscars has been a bit funky. Ah, I cannot. I'm having a hard time throwing stuff. There you go. But yeah, it's like it's an absolute masterpiece. Wait, I want to see what's that way actually. I want to see real quick. Like, what do I need to do here? I mean, this game is an absolute masterpiece, like absolute cinema indeed. Like, ugh, I just love this game so much. Let me see what's in here. Amber, sweet. Want to see where this ball go? Like, do I need to take it with me? Do I like put it in here? I don't know. I just want to see where do I put this ball first. No, that's just to finish the shrine. I don't want. I want to see. Yeah. Where do I put this ball? Do I take it back? What am I supposed to do with it? You know, now thinking about it, I think this game also is what also... Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to put it down there, because once I put it down there, I cannot take it back. Let me leave it here. Let me check. I don't know, I mean, thinking about it, this game has introduced me to the franchise itself. That's the obvious thing, but also, I think it also I don't know. There's like something that kind of makes me make me find this game appealing in general. Like um like if I were to guess why have I gotten into physical activity, like gym and stuff, I want to assume that I think this is I'm assuming that uh, I assume Zelda is what also got me into swords in general too. Like, uh-oh, I fell. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I think it's because of Zelda. I don't remember if it was because of that or Star Wars or what, but I would used to play fencing with my back scratcher that I had, and I would use to fence. And I think that's kind of what got me into a sort of early form of physical activity when I was a kid, and then from there I evolved into simple cardio, then at home weightlifting, and then gym stuff and all that stuff. Yeah, I think this ball has nothing to do because I cannot find a spot to place this ball. I feel like there's something I have to do with this ball, but I don't know. I'm gonna take it here just in case. Maybe I have to offer it to the guy. Ah, I dropped it. Uh, yeah. I really hope. I'll just skip. I'll just put the ball here and I'll just continue. I hope there isn't any use to this ball because it would be a bit annoying if I've missed out. But yeah, this game got me into Zelda, it got me into fencing, and swords, which from there got me into gym and stuff, I guess. Maybe I offer it to the guy? I don't know. Your resourcefulness is overcoming this trial to the promise of a hero. In the name of Goddess Hylia, I bestow upon you this spirit orb. Alright. May the goddess smile upon you. How long have I been? Oh wow, I've been already an hour. Ugh, I better finish soon. Now thinking about it, I wonder how much invested or how much effort that Nintendo did with the research. Oh, that one's a dead one. Uh-oh, that was not dead one. How much damage does the bomb do? Never mind, never mind. I do not like that. I need to get out of here. Yeah, I gotta be careful because those things, if they shoot me, they're gonna one-shot me to death, which is not what I want. This, uh, so, now thinking about it, I wonder how much. Like, I don't expect that. What the? Is there another one? Oh, I think it's the same one. Okay. I wonder how much, research that Nintendo did on polytheism. Like, of course, I don't expect them to do too much, cause of course it's just it's a game. They're probably their incentives is mostly based on money and stuff, I assume, but I don't know. It's just a fun thought in general because if you look at it from a lore standpoint, the Hylians, I don't know if it's just them or if it's also the Gerudo and the other races, but the Hylians are throughout. It's consistently have been consistently polytheistic in their religion, in the sense that they worship multiple gods, and like they have the goddess of wisdom, the goddess of courage, the goddess of power, and then you have Hylia, which is their patron goddess, and in Ocarina of Time, there's also the goddess of time as well. Um, but yeah, there's like god they're polytheistic, at least from what I'm aware of. Like, of course, I don't expect Nintendo to make deep on dive lore into it. Like, I don't expect it, but I'm just, I just wonder if I'm just curious to know if at least they understand the basic, just the crude basics of polytheism. Because don't get me wrong, I don't know much about polytheism in general or other religions, but from what I understand, now take me with a grain of salt, but in a lot of polytheistic societies, generally speaking, they don't really see their gods as like all powerful or all knowing or all of that yada stuff, right? What they do instead is they do recognize them as personal beings, but I thought I was gonna die. But but unlike monotheistic religions like Christianity or Islam, where like they believe in a perfect God that's that loves you and actually cares for you. Um, the gods of the pagans, from what I understand, they don't really care for the humans like they could. Like even like like a lot of it, it's pretty much out of interest, like any human, right? Like not all people care for you. Like some, like you have people that do love you and care you, but there's also people that just don't give a cahoots, right? Something like that with the polytheistic gods, from what I understand. Uh, so 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 yeah, even the good ones, like even the so-called, well, if you consider them good, the good gods, even or morally good, with an asterisk, even then, um, even then, they don't seem to care for humans, from what I understand. Like, like all of it is just out of interest, like, or a specific goal, right? And pretty much whatever use that they would use the human for generally would be like what's they would be using it like pawns or puppets, right? Whether it's for the good or the bad, right? And I kind of get this sense when in this game, now thinking about it, because when the monk says, "May the goddess smile upon you," it kind of feels like, in a sense, that the hero is chosen by the divine, right? To do the to do good, right? To um to save Hyrule from this evil, which is basically Ganon, right? But in a sense, the question on whether it was Link's choice to actually take this path or not, like if he really wanted to or not, I don't know. Like, it really depends. Like, and sure, you could get nitpicky because not all the Links are like the same person or stuff, but the point is that it's pretty much something you're assigned to or drafted, right? Whether if it's for a good cause or not. Or if it's like one of those schemy gods, it would be like they would make bargains, like kind of like kind of like how the Godfather put it. It's a deal that's too good to say no, right? A deal that's too good to refuse. Then again, I don't really know much because I haven't really looked into polytheism or pretty much I haven't really looked much into religion outside of Christianity. So, if anything, I'm probably talking too much, wrong stuff. So, don't. So, if you really want to look into it or stuff, just do your own research or something. Like, don't get it from me. I mean, that's why I call myself the Yapping Jim, or at least that's why I rename myself because I want to yap, yap on stuff what I currently know, what I find interest. Uh, oh, whoops. So yeah. Speaking of religion, fun fact: when they made Zelda 1 and I think Zelda 2, the idea of it was that the religion would have been Christianity, specifically Catholicism. Which, if you look at the concept arts, if you look at the magazine and stuff, you would see Link with a cross on the shield, and that's intentional because when Zelda was first made, they made it into Christianity, right? They based the game off of Western Christianity, and from what I understood, the reason why they did it was because the Japanese are like, although a minority of the population is Christian, like a large minority, and so like, and 1% of the Christians are Catholic, so it's like, so there isn't really too much Christians in Japan. But the reason from what I understood, um, the Japanese kind of see our culture and our religion in the same way how we see their culture and their religion and all that stuff. It's like they they have like this. They see it as like a niche, interesting topic simply because it's like, I guess, exotic, if that's the right word. Like it's so different to their to what they know that that they pretty much, they just find it interesting and to a sense, right? Which I guess it's kind of like a consequence of, it's a different culture, right? Like there's cultures that there's cultures you don't know, right? So it gives a notion of curiosity, right? Um, but yeah, when they made Zelda 1 and 2, they based it off of Christianity. A Link to the Past, whether if they did do, and whatever if they did base it off, whatever if they did continue on with the Christianity or not, I don't know. And then when you went to Ocarina of Time, I think that's when they started making their own lore and the religion instead of borrowing it from Christianity, because they had issues with, they were kind of afraid that they might offend people um, uh, because because you know because not everyone are like Christians or everything. I'm going back to the shrine, my mistake. uh, Especially since they brought in different races like the Zora, which are the fish people, the Gorons, which are the big rock eating people, and then you have the Gerudo, which I guess they inspired from the Arabs or at least Middle Eastern people in general, and 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 I guess they did not want to go into the can of worms of Christianity Islam thing, so they probably ditched the the real world religion setting and opt for a more safer fictional religion, which I guess it's not bad, right? Like I'm not gonna say it, like I'm not gonna say it's bad or anything. Like I mean, it's fun. Like it's good to know. I mean, to me that is. It's like a fun fact. Uh, is this the one that's like cold? I'm going to the cold one. I think I'm gonna go to the blue one first, cause that one's gonna need some special thing. And actually, I think I'm gonna end the video now, cause it's like what? What time is it? 12:43. Yeah, I don't want to stay up too late, so thank you for watching and goodbye.